nice. It's from Walmart. My Walmart fan. My goddamn fan. It's pretty nice. I bet you guys can hear it though. Or maybe you can't. I don't know. Hold up. This thing locked. A little bit of nice cold air while I stream. It's just such hard physical labor, you know? You just need a fan on you at all times. So, today, to everybody on YouTube, to everybody here inside of the live Discord stage, we are talking about AI. Surprise, surprise. You would never expect it. So, class, if you have a question, and no, this is not a Smarty Devs class, but I will call you class. If you have a question, ask me. It is preferred that you ask me inside of the actual Smarty Devs Discord because we are live so that we can have you ask me face to face. Like, it's better if you talk to me face to face. If you talk to me, and yes, it's over Discord, but if you talk to me and we have a one-on-one conversation, this will be way more interesting. So don't be shy and hide behind your little keyboard. Preferably, you join the Discord. If you aren't in there, you can join by clicking the link in the top of the description on YouTube. And we're going to get after it, teaching you about AI and just talking about whatever question you want to have answered. If you have a video suggestion, you can also throw that at me. We're going to be taking questions from the YouTube chat, from Discord on the chat. But the top priority, of course, is going to be the people who raise their hand inside of the stage so that they can actually get on voice. And we can actually get them up here to have that real discussion. And hopefully the sound works this time. It was being quite annoying because I was using Mac. And Mac, I mean, I'm always using Mac, but Mac can really screw you over with sound. Oh man, hey look, we got my good friend. My friend here is not exactly fond of AI, but I'm going to bring him up. Let's see what he has to say. Hello. I got to make sure they can actually hear you. What's up, man? You're going to probably bring the anti-perspective. What is Roblox developers' stance on that? The ethical use of AI. I know. Yeah. Well, let me hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get the sound working right so they can hear you on YouTube. Let's see. Output. Oh, that's weird. What the hell? No, it's not that. It's my stupid Mac. Let's see. MacBook is broken. Let's see here. Okay, record stream. Okay. Yo, can I move Discord down so I can see another U at the bottom? No. Why would I have two me's on stream? All right, hang on. I hate Mac OS. I hate it. I'm starting to hate it. I'm not going to go that far, but I'm not liking it for streaming. Let's see. We got sound. It's on the AirPods Max. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Right. Okay, there. They are going to be able to hear you now. Damn, I can't believe that actually worked. All
Hello?
right. Welcome to YouTube.
Hello, it's me.
Yes.
So, what do you think about, like, people saying that, or do you think that making Roblox games with AI is, like, morally incorrect?
Why would it be morally incorrect? How do we start with that?
Because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who do it, like, for a job, and you'd be replacing those people. And also, like, AI with, like, the environment and all that, not really too good. You know, all that water and power and all that. Not really the best things. So, like, what do you think about that?
Here's what I think. So, if we're talking about AI and it replacing people, right? Whether you like it or not, right? There are tools that are going to come out that are going to make people faster, that are going to make people more efficient, and often will replace people. This happened in the Industrial Revolution. This happened in all kinds of eras before us, like machines would replace human labor, like people putting together toys for kids who buy them at Christmas, right? Now that's done by machines. It was used to be done by people. So this has happened again and again across history. So I don't think that if we have people using AI to build a Roblox game, that is anything new, in that it does replace workers, but really it's more so making people faster. So I see it as, like, I was a Roblox developer before. I'm not like the biggest dev in the world. I don't have a massive game right now, to be fully transparent. But I am a Roblox developer, and I was making stuff before, and now I'm just able to make things faster because I was already a dev, right? Are there some people who are now getting into the field that couldn't before because AI was not a thing? Yeah, there absolutely are. Are they replacing people? Maybe, but that's the way of markets. A market is going to give rewards to the person who serves that demographic the best. So if the market gets better served by somebody who makes a game with AI, and that game is more fun and gets better retention, that person has beat that person. Nobody cares if that person was in the field longer, it was more passionate. Nobody cares. They just care about the end result. That's just how markets are. Like the kid playing the game on Roblox, he just wants the fun game. So at the end of the day, the player isn't going to care if it was made by AI if the game is better than a game that wasn't made by AI. So I think that it's really Darwinistic. It's like survival of the fittest Roblox game. I mean, whether you talk about whether that should be the way it is, that's a moral question. And that's what you're asking. I'm just saying this is the way it is. And let's talk about that and how you can adapt, because there is no changing it. And really, there is no choice but to use AI to keep up with people. Like if I can write 5,000 lines of code in a few minutes with Codex on my computer, and you are sitting there typing by hand out of moral purity, that's going to cause a massive deficit. And that person writing code by hand now is going to fall behind massively. So the environmental aspect, I see that as something just as an issue. And I was talking with somebody today about this. Actually, I brought you up in that conversation because we have talked about this before. And he actually made a good point. He said, well, with the environmental thing, we're in a really early stage of AI. So we're at a point now where AI, right, it's run in these servers, right, on these big old plants or big old warehouses, right, full of computers and GPUs. And yes, does it use water? I think so, right? I don't know all the details of the environmental stuff. You probably know more than me if you've researched it. But I know that it obviously has an environmental cost, just like cars do, just like the CO2 from your engine does going into the air. So I see that as something, right? It's there, right? But that's going to happen. But we're at an early stage of AI. So what we're using right now, right, on these databases or whatever, the places that have all these GPUs plugged in, all these AI models are running on, they are going to have they're going to have a certain level of efficiency because of where AI is at. But as the models improve, it's going to take less and less and less compute to have AI run. So, for example, right, it might take a GPU that takes less power or puts out less heat, right? And therefore, the environmental cost of AI will go down as AI improves, right? Because we've already seen this, right? We already have like models that can run on your machine, like a local LLM, a large language model. We already have models that can run on your computer. And these models are equivalent to, if not better than, early models like GPT 5.3. GPT 5.3 was like the earliest version of ChatGPT that was public and popular. That version of AI can now run on your machine effectively. It's not called that. It's made by other companies. There's DeepSeek making them. You can literally download this with a program like LLM Studio, and you can run it on your machine. And that isn't on a server somewhere. That's your computer running this LLM. You can even use it to code a Roblox game. Will it be less smart than the latest frontier models? Yes, but it shows now these models are more efficient, right? And we have versions of models coming out that can run on your machine, and they're getting more and more and more and more able to run on lower end hardware and hardware that doesn't use as much water or whatever the big AI companies are using or quote unquote burning on these AI models. So I see it as an early technology problem. Maybe they are having a real environmental impact, but I mean, if we look at like the early machines and the early factories in the industrial area, I'm sure they had much higher carbon emissions, but now we have factories that are hyper efficient because technology has improved. And yeah, it still puts out CO2 in the atmosphere, but per factory, it's less. And it is more efficient than it was like way back in the day when we literally had like smoke rising out of these factories into the city and polluting the air. So,
well, back,
that's my take.
Back, you said that, you know, I was talking about how it like replaces people
different. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Josh said in chat, my mic sounds different.
This viewer, Josh.
Input. Dude, that was a really good segment, and it was on this shitty mic. That pisses me off. But whatever, we'll just roll with it. Let's see if they can still hear you.
Hello.
Or I can't hear you. That's just... Is he loud? No, he's not. Why now when I hate sound problems. Because now if I switch, right, I can't hear you. But they also can't hear you. But they need to be on that second thing to hear you. It's stupid. Let's see. Primary device, black hole 2A, do CH. Multi-outputs. Just bear with us while we fix this audio issue, guys. Mac sucks for this stuff. Let's see. Output. Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem.
Dude. Ready?
I see what the problem is. Stupid Mac OS. Why do they make it so complicated? Like, it's super complicated. It should not be. But now they can hear you.
Why'd you spend $4,000 on a MacBook? That's like a down payment on a car.
That's real. Well,
it's real.
It was worth it. It was worth it in the moment.
Right, your MacBook is worth like double my entire setup. Like that is... Yeah. I don't think I need
I don't regret it for 1 second, except for these moments on stream.
Okay, can they hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, at the beginning, you were talking about how the Industrial Revolution replaced, or was also replaced jobs like how AI is. However, back in the Industrial Revolution, there were so many workplace accidents, so many deaths, and AI is replacing creative jobs and not dangerous ones that are being replaced in the Industrial Revolution. The fun, creative jobs are the ones that keep people going, and they really, you know, they really breathe life into workplaces. I mean, the creative people kind of make the world go around. There's so many different types of movies, shows, books, video games, pieces of art that can really keep people going, you know? And once AI gets more and more efficient, what's going to be the point? Are we all just going to be like machines? Are we going to do nothing all day? Like, what's the end goal? And also, another thing, you were talking about how you didn't really know a crazy amount about the environmental impact. Well, I like to bring up a recent development in the state of Utah. They are planning, or they've already they already unanimously voted to have a 40,000 acre data center built there.
Really?
Uses more power than the entire state, and let's just say it's probably going to devastate the place. And you know, is that really the way this should go? Is it worth it for, you know, using a tool or making Roblox games?
Yeah. So you bring up, it seems like you did your research. You definitely did your research. For the creative jobs thing, I think that, man, my tooth is chipped. I keep seeing that. I'm like, I hate that gap. I hate that. I want my pearly whites to look pristine at all moments. I got to get that fixed at the dentist. But anyway, so for the creative side of things, I think that AI is allowing us to do more. And right now, at least, AI is allowing us to do things that we couldn't do before. Like, for example, I can make an iPhone app, or I can do an Apple Watch app, where I had no experience in that in the past. Like, I had no idea how to code in Swift. I tried learning it, but my time was already consumed by content creation and by ROBLOX development. But now I've been able to experiment with that because AI coding agents can help me do that. So my creativity was actually able to get expressed more because of the existence of AI in very measurable ways. And there's other ways that I could point to. But I think that if we're talking about like creativity going away, I think that that won't happen. Like, obviously there's still going to be room for art and music and all these things, and people will still want things made by people no matter how good AI gets. People will still want a Roblox game even crafted by a person, or at least parts of it crafted by a person, like the art. People like that. People always like to see, like, even like a made in USA sticker. People like to see that something came from their same home country. They'll like to see this was made by a human. Maybe we'll have a made by a human sticker in the future, some sort of label. That'd be pretty funny to see. But really, there's still going to be value there for that. But if we're just talking about like what AI can do, the creativity part is covered by the fact that people are still going to be directing AI. Like, there still has to be somebody at the wheel of it. Somebody still has to tell the AI what to do. They have to direct what it makes. They have to pick the game idea. So there's still going to be people leading like teams, but there's also going to be people leading AI agents. And that's really what we're seeing now. There's going to be people who actually manage those. It's not like it's Terminator, where an AI is like just self-autonomously doing everything. Maybe that's where they're trying to go towards. But at the end of the day, there's still going to be some sort of input for what you are doing with that AI. For the environmental thing, yeah, that sounds like a lot of power. But again, it seems like the models keep improving and getting more efficient. So yeah, they're building that, but how will these models improve in the future where we don't need to use so much power for them? Or how will technology improve? Like, what if we have computers that are more power efficient in themselves, like GPUs that are optimized for this task? I think it's really early on. The
data center would still be built, though.
It would, still, yeah.
You know,
I'll give you that.
Make everyone's electricity bill skyrocket, and for what? Like making Roblox games, making Roblox simulators. Like, is that really? Well, is it worth it, man?
On the surface, yeah, in the short term. But really, what they're doing is they're trying to advance. They're trying to advance humanity. Like, they're trying to advance what we can do, what we're capable of. Like, yeah, it's funny to give the example of making a stupid Roblox obby with AI, but really in the long term, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make artificial intelligence that could solve real problems. Like, imagine, okay, maybe we're paying the electricity costs now. Like, you want to talk about the moral question? Sure. Maybe we're paying the electricity costs now, but what about in the future when we have a model smart enough that it can help, maybe not do it on its own, but help solve a cure for cancer or help people to recover from cancer? If we have intelligent AI, it can help solve problems we haven't solved. And that's just one of them. Like, it can help healthcare. I mean, we've already seen it figure out things, even if small. Like, it's made basically nearly like scientific discoveries. Like, it solved there's a math equation that hadn't been solved by people, and AI figured it out. It was just ChatGPT. And then there was some sort of like small distinction with atoms or something. You'd have to look it up. That ChatGPT thought of. Like, it thought of the answer to it. So, like, really, really small examples, but it shows how AI could help to solve problems that humanity has in general. So that you could think about like a short-term trade-off for a long-term benefit.
And polluting the Salt Lake River in a place that already has a drought, that's already like, they don't have a lot of water to begin with. I really don't think that's improving humanity. People will die. And like, maybe that'll make some other people's lives better, but is that really like, maybe we don't need this, maybe we're fine the way we are. all this for Roblox games, dude. Like all this for AI generated Roblox games. Could AI make Poop Land, bro? Could AI make Sussy Imposter Land? Do you think that could happen?
I mean, probably, obviously, but that isn't. I mean, you keep going back to that example, the funny example, but it's more like that is. That's the comedic example. It's more like we have the ability to solve problems in the future with AI, and that is something that will change.
People are gonna die, bro.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can. I agree. Maybe they should not build a data center right there, smack dab in the middle of that place. I don't know all the details of that, but maybe we can build it somewhere else.
It's not pretty.
Yeah. Maybe it isn't. Pretty. Maybe it isn't.
It's made by a Canadian dude LARPing as an American, to be like, wow. Oh, these are not our Utah values, man. Like, why? What people don't like this? They've been bussed in, or they're from China or whatever. These are real humans who feel this way.
Yeah. Well, maybe they shouldn't build it there.
Making humanity better.
Yeah, maybe they shouldn't, and maybe short term it is having problems. I agree.
So you think long term, the people dying would be worth it for the AI robots?
Well, has anybody actually died from it?
There's been a few, but it's been like just generally like AI related. I mean, there's people who died of thirst. I mean, there's a lot of people who died of thirst.
Can't you just move?
But not like generally, not generally AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to look into that, but I mean, just build the data center somewhere else. I don't know what to say. I mean, like that's the moral issue, and yeah, I agree. There probably are issues. I don't think that you can go without building it. I don't think you can. Like you're gonna have to advance AI either way. It's important. It's an important technology. It can solve a lot of problems. And also, here's the thing. I really like the idea, like for example, Elon building databases in space, like putting those out into space. That seems like a really good idea to me. I think if you have AI calculations, whatever, you have all those GPUs in space, that would fix a lot of the problems you're seeing. Like, just throw them on the moon for us. But yeah, I agree. That could be a real problem. But I don't think that means we should stop using AI altogether.
Well, I understand that, you've brushed on this in the past, but, generally speaking, if I'm, like, let's say there's a video game or whatever, and I learned that it's 100% generated by AI, but it could be a masterpiece. I'd prefer to play something that is made by humans. Like, I just feel like I'd be like, I know this might sound ridiculous, but I feel like I'd be like betraying humans if I didn't do that.
Yeah, and some people feel that way. That's exactly what I said earlier. That's why you're going to have the made by human label on products. You're going to have that. There's going to be things that people say this was made by a real person in the future, because it'll be so hard to tell. Like it's already getting hard to tell if AI art was made by a person in a lot of cases. So you're going to see that. There's going to be a little label, a little sticker, a little badge that shows it was made by a person. And you, being somebody who cares about that, will play those games or will buy into that art or whatever it is. And then the people who don't care, which I hate to break it to you, it is most people, they just want the product. That's just how people are. Most people will gravitate towards the AI product if it's better, if it actually serves their needs better, their wants better, if it is the more fun core loop, right?
As much as I would agree with you on that,
that's how it's going to be.
A recent game announced an AI video contest. It killed the game. Like it just like it was completely like they didn't add like an AI update to the game or whatever, but just pushing out like a potential AI video contest. It didn't even happen. There was no AI, like it didn't even make it to that point because the game got review bombed. People were probably refunding it if they bought it. Like it was terrible. And I would, you were saying how like the average person would just buy a game if it was AI. I really, even if it's not in the game, just AI in general, people hate it. It's such an unpopular technology. Maybe children are fine with that, but I mean, they don't have moral compasses, dude. Like,
so yeah, a lot of people care. A lot of people don't care. And I think most people don't care if the product serves what they want. Like, people don't care if they're getting their needs met, like in terms of like a game or any kind of product. Like if you had a shirt and it was an AI designed shirt and it looked better than the non-AI design shirt, people are going to buy the AI shirt. And I don't think in most cases you're going to know. You're not going to know that it was AI unless it's marked as made by a human, right? Which, as I said, for the people like you who care about that, that's going to be a real thing, is marking stuff that was made by a real human being. That's going to be a market of its own in the future. And it might even start now. Like, I'm sure that's starting now.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to ask if you think it's worth it. You know, if you think everything and all of the very long-term struggles that are going to happen is worth it for AI Roblox games. But
well, again, that's a really funny way to put it. But what I see it as is, yeah, there's costs, and we should do things to obviously mitigate the costs. But I think AI is worth it in the long run. Is it worth deaths? Hell no, obviously not. So figure out ways to fix that. But I don't know all the details on that stuff. I would like to research all of the environmental concerns and different things with these data centers, etc. But my main concern is obviously teaching devs how to use it, and then just leveraging it for your benefit.
Concerns and all the dangerous, like all the risks, before you start pushing it out this much. I think that would be a very smart idea. You don't want to be like leading people into like a trap. I think that might be something you want to look into.
I think that it's necessary to teach people, even if there's risks with AI.
Well, you don't know, though. You don't know what risks.
Well, yeah, I should look at... I agree. I'd like to look into the risks. I agree with you.
Well, I think you should, like right now. I think that's, like, really important.
Sure, absolutely. I don't see why not. I'd like to research that. Especially so we can have a better conversation about it.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah, about understanding the risks. Yeah, but we're not on the same page about whether you should use it or not because of that. Because I think there's things you can do. Like, I'm always action oriented.
I feel like we're not really getting anywhere with that, though. I feel like, if you want to make, Poop Lane 2 with Claude code, that's your choice, man. But yeah,
I should make Poop Land 2 with Claude code. Who wants to collab?
Yeah, great idea, bro.
Join up.
Give Kevin O'Leary enough money to, make that data center. I feel like that'd be... You make so many poop lands, bro.
Of course. Let's see.
That's all
I would like to see what... Yeah, let's make Poop Land 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 right now.
I wish you the best of luck with your AI journey, I guess. Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right. Goodbye now. Goodbye now, my friend O West. All right, let's see. We should create a debate. Yeah, he's trying to win an argument. Yeah, he wants to come on and challenge it. I mean, okay, this guy said here, the water argument is invalid. They have developed a method to recycle the water used in data centers for cooling instead of just evaporating. Most AI concerns are just based on small rural towns hating massive centers a mile away from the town. Maybe true. Again, I have to look into that. And that's what I'm saying, right? Even if that's not true, right? They're developing new technology. They will develop something that actually helps to mitigate those problems that he's bringing up. Is he trying to win an argument? Yeah, and we have chats about this all the time. Like, he definitely is very anti-AI, and I know that. Like, he'll bring it up. He'll bring it up randomly. Like, we're friends. I know him. So... yeah, let's get somebody else on here. I would be curious if Josh, Mr. Josh from the live stream chat moderating, Major W, by the way, as usual. He's very consistent with that. If Josh would like to come on, I'd like to have him on before I add anybody else. I will be having more AI-related questions, but I'd like him to come on because we're going to be doing a collab. And it's AI-related as well. We're going to be doing some videos on the channel. I don't know if you guys have seen, but years back, Josh and I did a video, and he's the stream mod right now. He's also my good friend. He knows OS as well. But he did a video with me about teaching a noob how to build in Roblox Studio. So we're going to do a video just like that, and it's going to be related to AI, and that's going to be upcoming. So entertainment content is going to be coming back to the channel. That is a massive announcement. And... Yeah, Josh, if you hop into the live stream right now, or I mean, rather the Discord stage, and just raise your hand, I'll add you up here, and we'll talk about that. But let's see. We have a lot in chat. I like to see a lively discussion. Professional AI hater. I'm glad we got that audio fix for those guys coming on. Yeah, he doesn't like AI. What can I say? He definitely hates AI. Let's see. It's not only electricity, it's clean water. I'm finna use the bathroom. Give me a second, Smarty RBX. All right, we'll get Josh on here in a second. Let's get this guy on right now. Quick little question before Josh.
Yo,
what's up?
Thank you for having me on. You know, I just started ROBLOX development, and that's been, I believe, in over 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, I'd say. You know, Wes, when he was on here, he made some great points, but you know, I'm not personally here to debate. So, you know, getting into AI, and when it comes to ROBLOX development, one of my questions were, is it safe to use AI for games without breaking your game code?
Yeah. Well, it depends. So for a really complex project, like if you're the developer of Jailbreak, a CMO, you may not want to use AI on that entire code base. You may want to be very careful, like only put it on the helicopter system and don't let it edit other things, because AI can mess things up. So you can do it in very bounded ways. It's safe on larger code bases in bounded ways. Don't let it have control over the whole game if it's really complex and everything like that. But it can support those larger projects. It is just harder to integrate it if you aren't trying to break everything. But AI is really reliable, if you ask me, at making working code that can produce an MVP. So a playable Roblox game, a minimum viable product. Josh, we'll get you on in a second.
I agree with you.
Just saw him pop up here. So that is really the way that works, right? Because if you are trying to have AI make you a simple game, like I had it make several simple games recently, which I published on Roblox, it's able to produce code that gets something playable. Whether that code is actually good, like, is it spaghetti slop? Whether that code is actually high quality technically, that's up for debate. It doesn't always make perfect code. But what I care about when I'm making a new simple game is whether or not it works. So it is absolutely safe and recommended to use AI to make simple games. And things like simulators, or if you're trying to hop on a trend, whatever it is, I would 100% use AI to make that. You're going to be way faster. Now, the question is, should you use it on larger projects? That is really up to you, and that's where it gets more risky. Like existing games that were not coded with AI, Royale High, Brookhaven, games that have existed for years on the platform, maybe not. But I would say for a new game, I would be bold enough to say you should always use it for simple projects, for basically everything, for the bootstrapping, for the startup of that new game. And this is exactly what I said on, I think it was yesterday's stream. It's literally that. Like, use it. Use it on the simple games for basically everything. And it doesn't matter if you have tech debt. Like somebody commented about that. Tech debt is going to pile up. What does the tech debt matter if the game is going to die in 3 months anyway, right? What if I'm just trying to make a simple game, get to 1,000 CCU, 500 CCU, have that run for like 3 months? Oh, it's like, let's see, what's an idea? Crocodile run. Like you're running, you're trying not to get eaten by crocodiles. Super simple idea. Probably would not work on Roblox, but came up with it off the top of my head. That game could be made with AI. Say it gets 500 CCU. That game, now, if it has tech debt and it isn't perfectly coded and it's hard to maintain, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be maintaining it for 5 years anyway. Like, I'm not going to be maintaining that game. I'm not going to be updating it. I don't care if the game dies. I just care about having something playable. So tech debt does not matter if you're trying to make a simple game and release it to people and just make some money. And then if it dies in 3 months, you're fine. You just let go, right? So there's really the business side of things. Like business-wise, it doesn't matter if your code is the most absolute total monstrosity of design and architecture, as long as the game feels and looks and plays fine when you actually go in and enjoy it for a session.
I would agree most definitely with your points, especially on the business aspect, because I guess when you come into Roblox development, especially for new developers, I guess targeted more towards myself because I only had 3 months of experience of Roblox development. With your points, you were essentially saying that, when it comes to AI and smaller games with business, especially since Roblox is still largely covered with children and smaller based, more naive children, what OS said earlier in your the last discussion.
Maybe.
I'd say I would agree with you 100%.
It depends on the game. Like there are games that are for older audiences that you can build with AI. And also, he's making that statement to kind of minimize games made with AI, obviously, like to kind of mock them a little bit. People play the simple games on Roblox from all age demographics. That's something people forget. Like, you might think it's just little Timmy on his tablet playing Grow a Garden. And I don't think that game was just made with AI. They might have had support, but it definitely has a lot of artistry and, like, the plants and stuff. It's not just AI. But the kid playing that game on his iPad, he's one of the players out there, right? But there's also adults who play that game because they're just trying to play something chill on their phone. So we have to remember, most Roblox players play on phone. They are mobile players. They are not these children necessarily who are playing these games. It's also just mobile players. And mobile players and kids, they like a lot of the same games because, well, both of them want something easy to play that they can just kick back and relax to. So that's something to remember there. It's not just children's games, but there are, a lot of kids' games. They might be more, like, kids might be more forgiving of AI, but you have to remember, as AI improves, it's going to be harder and harder to detect, right? So even if AI right now, like, oh, it looks like slop, right? You can tell. Maybe in 6 months, it's very likely it will be much less detectable. Like, we can almost guarantee that because then it keeps improving, right? And right, what you can make AI with games with is changing, right? There's different models that come out. The main thing that AI can't do, and I'm going to answer a super chat before I let you continue, because this ties in perfectly. He said, do I use AI for modeling or do I do it by hand? Thanks for the 20 NOK donation. I do not use AI for modeling. So you can use Claude Code. And a lot of you guys were talking about in chat whether Claude Code or Codex is better. It depends on the task. It depends on your setup as well. It depends which subscription you pay for. Codex gives you more use. Definitely, if you're on a budget, just get a ChatGPT subscription and use Codex, not Claude Code. It's going to be better for you. But do I use it for modeling? So no, but sometimes Claude Code can make decent builds. Like, it can make retro slop builds. It can't make you models in Blender very well. It can't really make you a low poly tree or a train or a set of brain rot pets. But what it can do is it can make decent enough retro slop builds and models if you really force it. Like, I found the trick, this little prompting trick, which I hate prompting tricks because I think we're getting out of the era of prompt engineering and into a new era of more like context and agents being the primary thing. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys deep into AI have seen that. But this little prompting trick, make this extremely detailed. Like, whenever you want it to make, like, say, a little armored, like a knight in shining armor, right? You tell Claude Code, make it extremely detailed. And then if it fails and it looks bad, just say, make it even more detailed. That was the trick I found. It sounds stupid, but it actually works. And it stops it from placing down 4 parts and calling it a day. So I don't use it for models, but I will use it to make, like, retro slop builds and models. I had it build a map. If you go to the group Wild Wild Worlds on Roblox, that has all of my newest AI games. Nothing crazy. They don't have players right now. I'm launching more soon, kind of adjusting and pivoting into something that should be more popular. That is the goal. But I have a game on there called Classic Pirates. And actually, all the games on there, the map was built with AI, which it's getting more and more impressive. Like Drag a Couch Across Town has a pretty good map. But Classic Pirates, that map is an example of like a retro slot map. It's got like studs. It's got the pirate ships. All the models and stuff were made by AI. You'll see it's not perfect. The game is not done. But if you look at that game, it's kind of an example of what AI can do right now for builds. And then it gives you the basis you can edit and build upon. So I can get a basic blockout or version of a map with AI, like the Classic Pirates map, and then I can go and edit it. So the map that's in there should be edited if I were to make that game viral, or if I were trying to grow it, which I'm not going to because it's kind of dead in the water. But if I was trying to grow that game, I would edit the map that Claude built, which is pretty decent as a basis. Like, you would be impressed if you play it, like, oh, wow, the pirate ships actually look decent. So it can make good stuff, especially if it's blocky. But it cannot model things in Blender for you that look really, really good. It can't sit down and model you an extremely detailed trash can. It cannot sit down and model you like a realistic pirate ship inside of Blender. But we do have models, AI models, not large language models, not coding models. We have AI models that are designed to make us 3D modeled assets. These exist. They kind of work, but they have a problem in general with topology, meaning that they have way too many damn polygons. So you will try to import a lot of these models made by these AI models that can create 3D models. Quite a mouthful of a sentence. And it will not be accepted by Roblox Studio because it's too many triangles and Roblox has a limit. And also, if you imported that successfully anyway, it would lag your game to have so many high poly models in there to begin with. So yes, AI models are possible, and I would look up, I can't name them off the top of my head for you, but there are actual models that can let you make those 3D models, right? But they aren't perfect. The topology is generally bad, but they're worth trying out. There are ones that let you like lower the polygon count, but the meshes aren't very editable because the topology is just bad in other ways too. Like it's made of triangles. Things are weird and messed up sometimes. But they are getting better, and some of them might not actually be like that. Like they might not be as problematic as I'm making it sound. I have tried some that seem better. So definitely experiment with those. There are several. I think there was one like made by these Chinese engineers or whatever, right? They had their new model come out not that long ago. AI model that can make 3D models. So do check that out. But that is what it can do. Yeah, it's higher quality, but it was better topology. So they are getting better. They just aren't perfect at making those 3D models. So yeah, to tie this back into your point, so we got the super chat done, and now you guys know, yes, AI can make retro slot models with like Claude Code. Codex isn't as good as building as Claude Code, and then there are, yes, dedicated AI that can actually produce 3D models for your game. They just kind of suck most of the time and can't import to Roblox. But test that claim. Take it with a grain of salt. Try all of them out there. I haven't tried all of them. But tying this back into your question, right? You're talking about how to make games with AI with all the different skills. So yeah, coding is the main thing that's automated. We already talked about models. Those can kind of be automated, somewhat, right? They kind of force a style too. That's something I didn't mention about the 3D model generators. They can make decent work, and the topology can be bad. You can kind of reduce the amount of polygons by editing these in Blender. Like if it forces it to be like 5,000, 10,000 polygons, you can actually edit that in Blender. You can add what is called a decimate modifier, and that lets you reduce the amount of polygons on the model. So that is something you can do. It just will kind of screw up the topology even more. But the models that you get, right, they're kind of forced to be realistic. So they aren't necessarily what you would actually want to use in a low poly game. Or I might not be able to make a certain style that people on Roblox really like. So that's another problem with them. But yeah, we can use AI to do a lot of these different skills. What else? There's UI design. UI design is something that can be automated by AI as well. Claude Code, Codex, they can make decent UI for your game. And they will often do it on their own without even being asked. whenever they're coding for you. They'll produce the UI instead of a script. It will build when you join the game. But they can also use MCP, which is Model Context Protocol, which is how you connect AI agents to Roblox Studio so that it can work on your file explorer tree directly. And when you have that set up, it can actually build the UI straight into Starter GUI, and then you can actually have that in your game and you can edit it. Now, the problem is, though, Claude Code only builds it with Roblox Studio primitives, which means it only builds UI with frames, text buttons, text labels, UI strokes, all that stuff. Which if you want a really simple looking UI, which for many people that's fine, that works. But for a lot of simulators and stuff, they like to have that nice detailed quality, polished, human made look. And there is a website called Forge GUI, which they actually offered to sponsor me. They kind of disappeared on me talking about that weirdly. But Forge GUI, they seem to be a good website. I have not tried them out, but apparently from their examples I've seen, you can literally generate UI that looks like it was made by a human designer in Photoshop with AI for Roblox. I know RoBuilder's talking about this right now because he actually got a sponsorship from them and actually signed off on it. I was talking to them about it. I might do that if they get back to me finally. But that is really impressive if that works. I still need to test it out. So that is something to look into. So really, there is a possibility to make a game entirely with AI, but the human is still the glue. Like, you are still the person bringing the project together. You are still the person who's gluing everything and making sure that it works and fixing the trash slop that Claude produces. You are the one making sure there are no bugs. You are the one testing the game, more or less, right, for the actual gameplay feel. Claude can test for bugs. If you have MCP connected, it can run playtests and fix errors in the output. But you, at the end of the day, have to decide whether it's fun and feels good to play, which is very subjective and depends on a human actually enjoying the game, because obviously, excuse me, you are making it for humans, not AIs, to play. So you have to test it finally. But yeah, you can really make the pieces of a game with AI right now, but there is no one button that lets you make an entire fully playable game from scratch with AI that could get 2000 CCU. A lot of these claims online about this are really overblown. Like, you can't do that yet. It still takes work. Can you make a template and then have AI edit that template to make games and mass produce them? Probably. But setting up the template will take work. So yeah, that is an option. It will take work. And it will also take 3D models. 3D models, 3D assets, maps, those are now the bottleneck. UI, kind of the bottleneck, but not really. So really, that's the bottleneck, and then the time it takes and the energy that it takes to sit there prompting AI all day. Because, I mean, I, of all people, know that. I spent like 2 or 3 months in my room basically vibe coding all day. Mistake, don't do it. Use the models, but bound it only for a few hours a day. I do not do that anymore. I would recommend that you only use it insofar as it gets you results, like I talk about all the time. But that's really the $50, the 1,000-word explanation, the essay to tell you how to make like a full game with AI. Like, there's a lot of different parts to it, but I hope that answers your question. Is there anything else you need clarity on?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
That was pretty much all my questions. I can tell how experienced you are in the development of Roblox games, but thank you, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
Appreciate you as well. Thanks for coming on.
You too, man.
All right, now it is just you and me, Josh, at last. You may unmute. Welcome.
Good.
What up? It's the W Stream mod. It is, according to your Discord status on the server, Smarty's #1 fan. What's up, man?
Your #1 fan.
My number
What's
one
good?
fan. Yeah, what's good? We had, what's his name? We have to call him OS. OS, come on, and debate me on AI. That was quite interesting. But now we have you on, the collaborator, the evil man who's going to actually use AI and learn it in a video. So you want to talk about the collaboration we're talking about doing, that we will do. We'll be recording this soon and then putting it out on YouTube.
Like the...
Yeah, just tell them what we're doing, because we're going to be doing a new one, because we already did one years ago. So we're going to be doing a new video about this. teaching you
What,
something
just
about
using
development.
using the AI.
Yep.
The AI to help code and build.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a video teaching Josh, who is not a Roblox developer, how to make a game with AI. So the video idea is teaching my noob friend to make a game with AI. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to show him all of the ropes and actually see what he can cook. And I think this is going to be way more interesting than if we did this video like 6 years ago before AI existed. Because now we can just go bam, 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 bam. Game is done. At least in a basic version. So we can see you with little skill literally advance to having like a full-on simulator or whatever it is that you want to make right away. Like that was not possible before, but because we have AI now, we can have a really interesting video where a beginner can make something that a beginner never could have made way back in 2018 on his own, but now he can. So that creates like a lot of potential for content, and it might become a series, us doing that together.
I hope it better become a series because that would actually be so fun.
Yeah, that would be sick.
AI.
That would be sick because it's going to be really, really easy to do. Like, that's the funny thing about it. Like, that's why it's such a good video, because if I'm teaching you how to code, and we actually tried this, a lot of you guys don't know this, most of you don't. Josh and I tried to record a video where I teach him how to code, but it was too boring because teaching him to code is a lot and a lot and a lot of nuance that nobody watching an entertainment video on YouTube wants to hear. But if Josh gets on and he learns how to make a game with AI, all he's doing is prompting, right? It takes like 2 sentences and AI can pop out a basic game prototype. So I just have to get him set up with the right tools. And then now all of a sudden he can start making a full-on working simulator where you can literally pick up coins and you can see your balance go up, and you can go to shop and you can buy a magnet that picks up more coins. Whatever he wants to make. He'll probably have a better game idea than that. But whatever he wants, he can produce it. So that is something crazy. Is a lot of you guys are being doom and gloom saying, yeah, this is kind of making me sad. I just tried learning Roblox coding a few days ago, and like everyone talking about using AI, does that not make you sad knowing games are not homemade? You might see it that way, but what it's also letting us do is have a beginner, a complete noob, who doesn't know how to do anything in development, able to make a game or script something very fast within minutes of starting, right? Like Josh has not opened Codex before, but the minute that I show him how to do it, he's going to be able to code really a working prototype of Hot Potato or of Freeze Tag or Foursquare or whatever game he wants to produce. He will be able to make that in minutes. So really it allows beginners to get started so much faster and actually get decent so much faster, where in the past it would have taken a long time to learn how to make one of those games.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting. We're going to be recording that soon, and you guys will see that live on the channel. Let's see. Yeah, you will understand when you get further in developing. I think personally I'm good enough at coding. Anything just math is holding me back. Yeah, coding still matters, like knowing the fundamentals, especially. Yeah, but that's just prompts. You're not really learning anything. All you're doing is copy pasting the script. No, you aren't. You're managing an AI agent. So, yeah, it feels like you aren't doing anything, but you're learning how to use the AI tools, which it might seem easy on the surface, but that is a real skill, right? Most people don't know how to set it up. Why do we have people, hate to break it to you, like you in chat asking about copy pasting, right? When we're able to use agents that we don't have to copy paste. They just instantly add the code into Roblox Studio and it makes the game work and tests it on its own autonomously, right? So we're not really at a time where we're copy pasting anymore. We're at a time where you have to guide AI agents to make the game for you in Studio, building the UI, writing thousands of lines of code, testing the game with a light play test, fixing the bugs that come up, right? These are real things that it can do. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Abso-freaking-lutely not. But it can damn well create a decent prototype, a decent basic version of your game that you want produced. So it's really not like it was back in 2022. Like, if you're still copy pasting from ChatGPT, you're living in 2022. You are living under a rock in AI space terms. Like, we now have Claude Code and Codex, right? I've made several videos on this recently. You should check them out if you don't know what these are. Claude Code and Codex are AI agents that directly edit your files. They directly edit the scripts, which means there is no copy paste. You don't go to your script that you already have and paste it into chat and ask it to fix something or add something. There is none of that. All of that is removed. It just goes in, it finds the script, right, which is saved to your computer. It's synced over from ROBLOX Studio. It finds the line of code it needs to edit or add, and it does it. And it thinks through the process. There is no nonsense in back and forth of trying to get it to understand your code base. It just does. It rehydrates the context itself. It understands the environment of your game. It understands the explorer hierarchy, even like all the parts in workspace it can see, and then it can reference that in a script. It can reference the models in your game, the things in replicated storage, the remote events. It can recognize those things if MCP is attached, and it can literally impact them via its code, right? Without you having to tell it. Like, before MCP existed, right? MCP is Model Context Protocol, $10 word to say how an agent gets hands and eyes in ROBLOX Studio. Like, it can see and it can do. So that allows us to have it directly add parts and UI, and it can also see what is going on in the game. Like, it can see the things inside of replicated storage, which we have a lot of remote events, we have a lot of models, we have a lot of particle effects, we have a lot of things that we save inside of ROBLOX Studio that our AI agent doesn't know about if it doesn't have access to that. So before MCP, it was a lot harder to code with AI, but now it's made very simple. It's made very fast because it can just see all the stuff you're working on. Is it perfect? I already said this. It's not. It's not perfect. You do not have a one-click make my game button yet. You do not have a one press and the entire game pops out the end of a factory. You can make templates and you can set up OpenClaw or Claude Cowork or Codex automations potentially that could generate games based on a template that you've already built, like a simulator, an obby, a tycoon, and then kind of reskin it and then and publish it, but it will take a lot of work to set up that pipeline. So it's not perfect yet. Only like the savviest devs who are like really willing to try to automate things will be able to do such a thing. And even then, it's not all AI doing it. You already built that template, or you had AI help you build that template. So that's a lot of startup cost. So one click make a game button, we're not quite there. Some people will claim that's possible. We aren't quite there yet. But that's really it. So yeah, I'm going to bring on the next person, but Josh, thanks for coming on to talk about that. Yeah, you guys will see that video soon on the channel. But that's going to be exciting because a beginner can really get a lot done they could not years ago.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. All right. Catch you later. Peace out.
See ya.
All right, next up, we got 360 Sauce. We need a little bit of fresh content in here. What's up?
So me and Extreme Ashes, we're looking for some animators for our ROBLOX YouTube channel. Is anyone interested?
You're advertising. This isn't a question, so I have to move you back. Just how it goes. No ads. Just questions. Smarty is taking text questions. So there's a lot of text questions, right? I won't be able to get to all of them. So save them for a future stream when we do more. But do you have any advice to know when to scrap your game and when to iterate it's a flop or can succeed with changes? So if the game just has awful stats and it was a simple game, you should often just drop it. I can't give you a specific number because I haven't grown a massive game or in any sorts recently at all. Like my last games that had a lot of very decent player counts, like hundreds of players, were back in 2021 to 2023 or 4, right? That was a while back. So back in Jimmy games, right, we made meme games, they got visits. but I haven't had one in a while. So I can't tell you exactly when to iterate or not but to have a successful game. Can't tell you that right now, not until I grow a new game that's big. But to know when to scrap your game, I've had to deal with that recently, right? I've had to kill my darlings because some of my games have not done well. I think that if the stats are extremely, extremely low, like the CTR, well, the CTR can be improved right through icon and thumbnail, right? But if the stats are low, like the retention is just dropping off a cliff, if everybody just joins and they just hate it right off the bat. If it was a simple game, it only took a week to make, what is the big loss in just cutting it, right? Nothing. There's no loss. So just cut the game and move on to a new simple game. If it's more complicated, then you had more investment. Maybe it's worth trying longer because you don't want to let go of that. But don't let that turn into hobbyist thinking of, oh, let me just endlessly improve this one game, right? Like I fell into that trap recently with a game that isn't released. And it really held back our team because we had them polishing this one game. And I realized one day, wait, hold up for 1 second. We need to hit the pause button on this because this has been going on for way too long. The game still is not ready for release. Cut it. Make simpler games. So we have my guys in the Philippines who are programmers who, yes, they also use AI in their process. They were not replaced. OS, they were accelerated. My workers were not replaced. I already had them before. I've even just hired somebody new. But they are coding prototypes, right? Basic, simple games that are there to be released in the market. We're actually releasing our first one tonight. The new person that I've hired on our team, she is there to be our release assistant. So what she's going to be doing is, her name's Anne, right? She is going to be just publishing the games on Roblox. So we have like a full pipeline now, right? So we went from Hobbyist Trap weeks ago, which we've been polishing the same game for months. I said, hold on, hit the brakes. What are we doing? Stop this. Let's start doing prototypes weekly. So now we have Mike and Jesse, my two programmers. They make one prototype a week each. We test it on Thursday. And then we decide at the end of a 4-week cycle which one deserves to release. It's a pretty smart pipeline, if I say so myself. And at that 4-week window, right, we pick the best one. We've already picked ours. Since it's going to release in 4 hours, I'm not too worried about saying what the idea is. It's called Kick a Poop. So it's like Kick a Lucky Block. Hey, I guess OS was right. We are making Poopland the sequel, in a way. Kick a Poop, right? Stupid, simple, and definitely aligned with the trends because we have Kick a Lucky Block out right now. It's very big. So we basically just made that. Just something weird and fun and was quick to produce. And we made it in a week. And then we had Jesse refine it for a week because we chose, at the end of our 4-week cycle, we chose that game. So we make about 7 prototypes a month. One gets refined. And now Anne, who is brand new, I'm going to train her tonight. We're getting on a call. And I'm going to teach her how to publish games to Roblox because she is not involved in Roblox. We hired her from the same place that I hired Mike and Jesse. She's not a Roblox dev by trade. She is learning about computer science, though, in college. So she's actually somebody who might learn the vibe coding from us and learn how to produce games herself on our team. She'll get trained up on that eventually and become even more useful a worker to us. But what we're going to have her do right now is publish these games. So I'm going to be training her on that, and she's going to publish Kick a Poop. She's going to generate the thumbnail and the icon with AI. And now we're going to have like a full pipeline. So now Anne is, right, she's taken the prototypes, the refined one, at the end of the month from Mike and Jesse. She publishes that onto Roblox. And then, right, we have 7 prototypes a month, one getting refined in our refinement lane. And that's just going to be a pipeline. So it's following exactly what I tell you on this channel, right? We're going to publish them, not get super attached like we were to the brain rot shooter game we were making before, falling into the hobbyist trap a little bit, polishing the same game for months, wondering, why isn't it fun? When it just was a dead loop. We'll pick it up later, I'm sure, but not right now. We're pausing. We're making simple games first. Like I always say on this channel, cutting down the scope, right? When in doubt, cut smaller, get even smaller scope. If you can't make a simulator, make one of these stupid quiz games that are popping up on Roblox, or a test, and a bunch of weird ones that I'm not even going to mention because they're stupid. but they get a lot of players. Those games are only made with UI. They can be vibe coded extremely easily. I saw a guy post a video about this on YouTube just recently. He's new to posting Roblox dev content, but he was talking about it. He did a good breakdown of it. I forgot his name, but it reminded me of that today, the quiz games. Super simple, right? It just shows there are some games that are even simpler than simple, right? And you can make those. But yeah, we're doing that. That's our pipeline now. And really what it is it's not getting attached to any one project. It's treating it like a production line, right? And does that mean we don't put any heart and soul into it, or we don't try? No. It's just that the scope is bounded, right? We do our best. We put a lot of passion into it, right? But it's in a short window, right? They will make the game, right? Like they made a game called, it was something about a brain rot delivery, right? Mike made that game in a week, or Jesse made that game in a week. Steal the Brain Rot Shipment was the name of it, right? They'll make that, cut it off at a week. They can't work on it anymore. They work on a new game the next week. So it can be hard at times to kind of work that way because you get attached to one project. You're like, this is my baby. I love this game. But you just have to throw the baby in the trash sometimes. Like that game, I hate to break it to you, you have to let go of it because it is keeping you from making other projects. And that was exactly what was happening to us. I'm speaking from experience. We were making a game for months, and it was preventing us from releasing anything because it was clogging the whole pipeline, right? It was cool. It was a good idea. It's a brain rot shooter, but its time came. We worked on it for months, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't at the point we wanted. So we cut it, right? And that was a hard decision to make, but it was a good one. And it's been fun too, right? Our passion, people think passion projects can only be complex games. Not true at all. I have found more passion in leading a team that is producing small prototypes a week than working on a stale, dead loop for months that, yeah, has a lot of cool assets, has a cool world, has a lot of guns in it, has decent gunplay, right? Our brain rot shooter. I'm having more fun, though, in these simpler games. So simple games can actually carry your passion as well. That's something that people often don't see. So you'll be seeing that game's going to ship. It's going to release. It's going to be imperfect as hell, but it is going out, and that is the whole point of the pipeline. So we're going to have Anne trained up tonight. That's a little kind of insider behind-the-scenes look at my process and what I'm doing in development. Yeah, I'm managing a team. I've talked about that on this channel. Do I have a big game right now? No, but I'm building up the infrastructure that allows me to do that, and I've been doing that for a while now. And it's about time that one of these games sees the light of day. So that's why we switched over to the prototype management and the prototype pipeline that I have. So it's just very consistent, very factory-like, where it's like, okay, we're making this game this week, this game another week, this game another week, release one at the end of the month. And yeah, it's just going to be this consistent thing. So then in several months, right, down the line, we're going to have 12 games in a year. And if we have Anne also, or somebody also coding, like she learns vibe coding, right? Because I'm sure she'd pick it up quick being a computer science major. If we have her do that, now we're able to, do 3 prototypes a week. Then maybe we're releasing 2 prototypes a month. Maybe it's staggered so that we release one every 2 weeks, right? It gets you thinking, right? So when you have one of those pipelines built, or you have like a team and you've actually got it set up where they're continuous and consistent and always working on things, you can get to the point where you can start improving it, right? Like I don't have a successful game right now, but I do have a successful pipeline. I'll say that, in that the pipeline is very robust. Like these guys, they're really good workers. Jesse and Mike, they're really talented, and they are reliable. Like that's the number one thing, right? They're scripters, and they also picked up Codex recently, so they're actually coding these games with AI. And they're very reliable guys, which is really rare to see from Roblox scripters. And so I value them a lot as team members because they do what none of these other scripters that I've hired have been able to do. Like I haven't hired the best scripters in the world, like the greatest ones ever. The ones that are at Adopt Me, they have wages that you have to pay, like massive wages, because they treat this as a real job, right? I haven't been able to hire those guys, but I have hired guys in the Roblox community who are very, very inconsistent, yet claim to have good skill. Like there are scripters who are really good, but they drop off and they get hired by somebody else after you hire them for a month. And I've had this on many projects, and I've had many projects with this guy named Myro who I've worked with, and none of them have gone out. And part of that's us, but also a huge part of it is these scripters that I was hiring directly from the Roblox community were incredibly unreliable and inconsistent and trash, just to put it bluntly. Like they just could not get anything done. So I decided to swap to hiring guys from the Philippines, from a job hiring site that lets me find guys there, and they're known for having a really hardworking culture, and it proved to be right. These guys are much better than any of the guys I've hired, any of the entitled Americans. I guess they live up to the name that a lot of people in other countries like to say, right? In many ways, they do. Because the Americans feel more entitled in a lot of ways for no reason. Like even if you're paying them good for working on the game, they'll just drop off. And you don't see the same thing from Filipino workers, like in the ones I've worked with, right? I'm not saying there aren't ones that aren't reliable, but I've seen them be very good guys to work with. So that's really helping to actually have this pipeline. And you'll see we're having our first game released tonight. So that's going to be really cool. But kind of a side tangent just on hiring people and managing a team and just how a pipeline works, like the insider look at it. One that has not produced a big game yet, obviously, because the pipeline has only been going on for a month and we're releasing our first one today. But it will be really interesting to see how that ends up working out as we continue doing that for months and months and months. And we churn out a lot of prototypes that are refined and come from our team, right? And I do allow ideas and suggestions from them, but mainly it's me and my good friend ChatGPT, right? I have a running thread with ChatGPT that kind of understands the team and what we're going for and the brain rot games we want to make and things like that. And AI helps come up with the ideas, right? Obviously, I have to tell it sometimes your idea sucks, make a better one. But, it helps a lot to have AI in managing a team. That's something, since we're talking about AI, like I will spec my Trello cards with AI. I even have an app called Trello Forge. And this app lets me basically paste a JSON into a little text box, and it will blast out a whole Trello board on the other end. And then I can send that to my guys. So like I can have, for example, an idea for a game with ChatGPT. Brain rots with dynamite, right? Brain rots blow up objects with dynamite. This is an idea I had a while ago. I can say that to ChatGPT, and it will instantly spit out a Trello board spec, right, with JSON, which is just a file format. I just paste it in. It uses the Trello API to build the Trello board on Trello. And Trello is just a project management software. If you don't know about it, you should. Most Roblox devs use it for managing people. And then I can send it to my guys. So I do that every week. So now I can literally automate the management of this prototype pipeline a lot. Like I don't have to sit there specking the prototype for 3 hours. It takes me 5 seconds to get a new idea, get the Trello spec, paste it into Trello Forge, my app, which I vibe coded, by the way. I might sell it on this channel. Let me know if you want me to sell that, like sell a license to have the software. Like I could sell it on my website because it is really freaking useful to just have Trello boards made and then send that out to your team. If you want to do something like that, the prototyping pipeline we have and kind of model after it, you could. But that has been a really useful piece of software, and that's why I see AI is so useful. I was able to make that. I couldn't have coded that years ago because I don't know how to make Mac apps, and it would have taken a long time, even if I did learn Swift. Thousands of lines of code, like usual. I want my lines of code to go into Roblox games if I have to write it by hand. But now I can do both. I can do Mac apps, and I can do Roblox games at the same time. So that's been really useful, right? I've had that Trello Forge, and that's helped me to automate that. And yeah, I make the spec, I make the entire Trello board plan, I make the idea, more or less, right? Obviously, I will have an idea and bring it to ChatGPT, and it sharpens it and improves it, and then it will turn that into a spec, whether it was mine or its idea. And that works really well for managing the prototyping pipeline, but it just shows like you can use AI, and not just for building a game yourself, but for managing a team, right? It also helps write announcements to the team, little communications, replies, feedback on things that I wouldn't have thought of. It helps with that all the time. So ChatGPT is also really useful, and any AI agent, for managing your developers. Like it can manage the Trello board. It can make the Trello board. It can even update the Trello board, right? You can build an app that builds Trello boards for you. like I just told you about mine, Trello Forge. And if you have an AI agent, you could build your own version of that. But I'm also consider selling that so that you guys can buy it if you don't want to do it yourself. Hope it doesn't end up like Drag a Couch Across Town. I can guarantee you it will not, my friend. Drag a Couch Across Town had too many things you could do, and that's what I realized. The map was way too complicated, too many streets you can go down. Nobody likes that stuff. So this new game, it's really simple. You do one action. You don't have all these options. That was the mistake with Drag a Couch Across Town. This new game we're releasing with our prototype pipeline team is going to come out tonight, and it's quite different than that because it's simplicity, right? And I talk about that all the time, right? You want simple games on Roblox, make simple games first or only, and that means simplicity in the actual development process and the actual scope of the production, but also the simplicity in the actual gameplay experience, the game design, the psychology, everything that goes into actually experiencing the game. That needs to be simple too, because most of the time, right, unless you're making a game for a really older audience or specified niche interest, they just want something that's really easy to play on a phone, doesn't require much thinking. Like, nobody wants to think through a 5-step chess strategy just to play a basic Roblox game, steal a brain rot. Nobody wants that. They don't want that. Believe me, I've tried. I've tried making the complicated gameplay. I just tried it recently, right? I vibe coded a game called Drag a Couch Across Town. It shouldn't have multiple streets even. It should be a straight line, and it should be a simulator. Drag your couch to different zones or different areas, and you make money. You drag it across a really short movement. Not this stupid thing where it's a city grid and you can drag it all over the place. Like, you can play this game on Roblox. It's too complex. And then another problem, right? It's not a simulator. It should have been a simulator. Everyone hates on simulators, but the reason they work is because they are simple and easy to understand. I tried making a round-based game. I was being a Roblox purist. Like back in the day with epic minigames, it was all rounds. Or Flood Escape, right? I love Flood Escape, by the way. That game is hella fun, but it's dead. It is dead like a fish in the water, man. It is just, I don't know what happened to it, but it's just been killed off. Sad. If anybody wants to play Flood Escape, we should. We should honestly do a stream, because that game, one of my favorite early Roblox games. But the rounds don't work anymore. I found that. Like, rounds worked back in 2016 Roblox, but for most games, people cannot wait for an intermission. And they cannot wait while they're out of the round to get back in the round. They can't stand it. Their goldfish attention span that has ruined their brain through TikTok and YouTube Shorts and IG Reels, they cannot stand it, right? Roblox games are held to the same standard as a 5-second reel that people will swipe by if it's boring as hell. Nobody cares if the Roblox game can't hook you instantly. And I've had to learn that. I knew that, but I had to learn it the hard way again by releasing games that people found boring. And now I'm adjusting, right? I'm making new ones and pivoting based on that, right? And that is a difficult thing, right? When people find your game boring. But you have to remember, all the players are goldfish. That's not an insult. It might sound like one, but it's simply saying people don't have the attention span now. That's just how it is. I can't change that. You just have to adapt to it and give them more dopamine than the next game. Right? And that is where the competition layer of Roblox is at. Competition is not in how detailed your map is. Competition is in how much dopamine and enjoyment and long-term retention does your game give the player. And you will find that out the hard way if you do not find it out the easy way. There's really only a hard way, because you have to actually do it. But you can understand it or you can ignore it, because if you don't actually make the game like hyper engaging with constant things going on, very good visual feedback, things that they can progress towards in the medium, short, and long term, etc., etc., etc. All the things you do to boost retention. If you don't do that, the game will flop. People will not play, and you will see it flop within 2 minutes because people will leave the game because it's boring. Like, competition on Roblox is higher than ever, and it's not in the stupid graphics or how stupidly complex your code is. Nobody cares about that because they don't see it. Or at least they don't see the massive open world map if they don't even get past the gate and play for 5 seconds, right? If they just leave the game after 5 seconds, nobody cares about the rest of the map. right? People only care about whether the game stimulates them right after they join. And that really, really matters. And yes, the long-term retention matters too. Don't ignore that. But you are being judged right off the bat, and then you have to maintain that throughout time. And I've definitely learned that again and again, right? So you just keep iterating, right? My recent games didn't hit the mark. They didn't. That's just the honest truth. So you make better ones. You pivot. You make a better hook, right? Something that interests people more off the bat, right? Something more engaging, like steal a brain rot, kick a lucky block. Obviously, there's something about that as a hook that makes people want to join, but then the gameplay itself holds because it's engaging enough, and there's always something to do. There's a clear straight line to walk down at every moment. If that line ever breaks and there's not a next action that somebody knows to do in your game, and they're confused and there's too many options, poof, they're out. They will leave. That's just how things are now. If you actually can't make it on your own, get a template. Yeah, buy a game template. I might buy a game template. If my new games aren't doing well, I might do that myself. No shame in that. Or just buy an existing game. It's something you can do. So we should use uncopy lock games. You could. Why do parts fall when you anchor them? Well, they fall when you don't anchor them, actually. You have to anchor all your parts in Studio, or else they just poof, they fall out from under you, man. Just how it is. Yo, I published my game like 3 days ago, and I bought 5 ad credits because I didn't want to go all out, and have made some TikToks to promote it and got some good views. So I'm asking, do you think this was okay? Well, don't ask me if it was okay. Ask your results if it worked, right? Don't ask me. Ask the game's player count. Ask your stats. Ask the players themselves, right? Ask people for feedback. Is it fun? The feedback from reality about your game matters more than what some random opinion of some person means. Even me, right? Even though I have like 152K subs, it doesn't matter if I think your TikTok was okay. It matters if it got you views and if those views converted into players, right? That's a good promotion strategy, especially if you're getting views. Like, rinse the hell out of that. Keep doing it. But it doesn't matter if I think it was good. What matters is, did the players actually go from the TikTok over to the game? If it didn't convert, it didn't really matter. 153K, you're right. It's just too high to count, man. You know, it just keeps going up and up. The famousness never ends. Do I know what model is the best instead of Codex that 5.5 can script for longer periods of time because wasting credits but isn't stupid? Yeah, go for, it depends on the task. If you don't need it to be perfectly smart, you will get more use from GPT 5.2 or 5.3. I don't know if you can use 5.3 anymore, but 5.3, I don't know if you can use 5.2, but 5.3 I know for a matter of fact to be true that it's a decent model, right? It's not dumb. It's just older. So you can use that. Just use one of the more frontier models if you're trying to not spend so many credits. You mean more like, do you think 5 ad credits was good because 0 have actually played it? Well, your problem is probably your icon. 5 ad credits is really freaking low, but I've still been able to get players on my games with that many ad credits. They don't hold on my new games. They don't stay, but they are joining. They get in the door because the icon is good enough. The thumbnail is good enough. So get yourself a better icon and thumbnail. Really easy nowadays. Just go to a website like Artly RBLX. Just look that up. Artly RBLX. ARTLY RBLX. It's AI generated icons. Man, I'm promoting them for free. I should be getting paid for it. Let's just be honest, but I'm not. They're just that good. I'm honest to God. They are a really good website. Like, they are better than many GFX artists. I don't know what to sell you. So get that. If your thumbnail and your icon look like trash, which, let's be honest, they probably do. If 5 ad credits didn't even get you a single play, right? Get yourself an AI generated icon and thumbnail. Let us see here. Has anybody sent anything good? There are so many questions, right? And this is why, if you want your question, right? See how many there are? This is a lot, right? So I can't answer all of those today. But if you want your question answered, right? The highest chance, well, first of all, obviously a super chat. Send me money. But the second highest chance is just raising your hand on Discord. Because that way we can talk face to face, right? Like I've been saying. You can ask me over voice, and I prefer that. It's actually easier for me to answer it too, because I don't have to read. Who wants to read? Nobody. So let's talk if you really want it answered. But we're going to cover something like one or two last ones, and then we're going to close this off. Let's see. Questions since I'm driving. As far as the agent side, I'm concerned in trying this method versus the copy-paste via Apple. Super nice. Due to already building an RPG for 7 months, do they just start going in and breaking already built things or optimize things better? It depends. What do you mean by optimize things better, right? I wouldn't send your agent in willy-nilly. I'd have a specific goal. Oh, add a daily wheel spinner that gives players rewards when they join the game. It only works every 24 hours. Add a weekly rewards, right? Add a whatever it is, like add a sword feature to this game, right? We already have guns. We want swords too, right? Whatever it is, have it add very bounded, very limited things. And I wouldn't have it just randomly refactoring everything unless you have like a plan. Like, okay, if you really know what's wrong, but don't just have the vague goal, optimize things. Optimize what? It's going to mess things up if you have it take on a very large code base and just start scrambling around all the code and rearranging it however the hell it wants. Don't do that. You'd be better off just having it, like if you wanted to say refactor by splitting a script into multiple module scripts, you can do that, right? But I would not have it just vaguely optimized unless you have a very specific thing, right? And sometimes they can work, but I would only do that on a small new project. I wouldn't risk it on something big and like years ongoing. Like I wouldn't go, if I was the developer of Adopt Me, I wouldn't go in and say, you know, I really want you, Claude, to optimize Adopt Me to be more performant and better. Like I would not send that prompt into Adopt Me as a code base because AI is going to scramble thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of lines of code. It's going to ruin a years-long ongoing project. It's like, what, almost a decade now that that game has been around. Crazy. And it still has players. That says something about it. It is a good game. But I would not have Claude go in and just edit things willy-nilly. I would add a new feature. I would edit one thing at a time. I would give it a specific goal. I would make new updates. I would use the hell out of Claude if I was one of these big devs with one of these front-page games. But I would absolutely not just let it go willy-nilly and just scramble everything. That's like letting a kid into your store, like you own a convenience store, and just letting him run over to the beer aisle and just knock all of the beers onto the ground and break all the glass and just run in, just throw all the chips all over the place, open up some gum, chew it up, right, spit it out on the floor. Like it's just letting a kid ruin your shop. It's the same thing. Are you going to let a toddler run around your convenience store and just ruin everything? No, right? It's the same thing with an AI agent. Like obviously it's an extreme way to put it, but the AI agent is just, it's like that kid just randomly running around finding things and throwing it at the wall, right? It's not a good idea, right? You're not going to have anything good come from that if it doesn't have a specific bounded goal and not just a vague improve the game prompt. Like it needs to be something tangible. Like, oh, I want a sword system. I want an update to the first-person shooter mechanic where there is, let's say, the ability to shoot lasers out of guns. We only have basic projectiles, add lasers, right? And I would specify even harder than that. But yeah, I would not let Adopt Me be coded by AI. I would not let it do that. I wouldn't have it edit a years-long project. But don't let that make you think you shouldn't make a new game with AI altogether. Let it do everything. But don't be vague still. Be specific. One prompt at a time, one feature at a time. Don't try to one-shot the whole game yet. You can one-shot a very basic version sometimes, but it's really rare that it works. I would just go one mechanic at a time. That seems to be the best way to make Roblox games right now with AI is one tiny prompt at a time. Oh, make the shop, make the sword, make the bus, make the chicken, whatever it is. One thing at a time. Don't try to have it do everything because it will make slop. The slopification factor goes up the more freedom you give it. And the more freedom and the more large of a prompt you have, the more problems you'll run into. But if it's just bounded, it's small, it's constrained, works way better. And trust me, I've been doing this for months. Vibe code into my room. And I've run into a lot of problems trying to one-shot games. We all want the one-click make a game, big red button, but it does not exist. We're not there yet. We are at the point where AI can get close to that, but it takes many, many steps, hand-holding through the process all the way to the end. Many, many hours coding at your desk or on your phone. Hey, we just got Codex on phone. Little thing I'll throw out there to you guys if you're using Codex. Somebody in chat just mentioned that. That was a W. I installed that right away. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, sign me up. So I downloaded it actually just came out yesterday. On the ChatGPT app, you can text your your Codex from your phone on your computer. It can start working on your game. So that was sick. Let's see. What do I think of Blocks Flip? I don't think it's good. I think it's against the TOS. And there are better ways to make money than that. Let's just be honest. Better ways than gambling your items for no reason. Let's make a game or take commissions or make development content. Your room looks dark in YouTube and light in Discord. That's weird. I think it's just your brightness because it looks fine to me. But stay humble, King. I refuse. The famousness keeps going up. The famousness. 153. Time to get 154. Ego maxing for the win. Yeah, we got... What is the best way to start learning Lua? Balancing speed, but still learning a lot. Watch my video. Watch a YouTube video, but then if you can't do that, get a tutor. That's usually what I tell people. That's a simple way, but I've made countless videos on that. Go to those for a longer explanation. Kick a poop. Probably going to get some good plays. Yeah, it probably will. What is people's obsession with feces? Dude, don't blame me. Blame the kids. I'm seeing these comments from way earlier back, by the way, when we were talking about kick a poop. Bro admitted to texting while driving. Yeah, that guy definitely did. He did. Bro's going to crash over a Roblox question. Hope it was worth it. Oh, God. I'm in the ER, but I got my question answered by Smarty. We're good. I may have a concussion and many broken bones, but we're good. We got the info. These kids love these weird poop games. Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, and if you think back to when you were a kid, don't lie. You did as well. You typed in poop on Roblox. Don't lie to me. You definitely did that at one point. When you were 7. Yeah, we know what you were searching up. Don't lie. Don't lie to us. Yes, once you start coming up with unique ideas, you'll need to know what the possible ways are to realize your ideas, and AI will give you a decent try. But if you don't know actually how to use AI, never give the best results. Yeah. You need to know how to use it. It is a skill. Using AI is a skill. I think OS is somebody who definitely disagree with me on that, but it is a skill, as a matter of fact, whether you like it or not. And some people are better at it than others, hence why many people don't get any players on their AI games, and why there are many that are vibe coded right now, like these stupid quizzes, Aura Quiz, and a bunch of other unnamed ones that we will not mention on this stream because they're dumb. But they're getting hundreds of players or 50 players, and it's just literally a UI and a stupid fake skip. Skip to get your answer, or wait 20 minutes. It's also free playtime. Like, it's honestly kind of a genius model in the dumbest way possible. But let us see here. Link the YouTube. Let's see. I don't know who he was. But he's on Twitter too. He's got like a SpongeBob icon. Yes, once you start. Yeah, okay, I already covered that. Let's see. Leaf is inspirational. He definitely is. Smarty good at generating sentences. Yes, I am the sentence generating machine. Let's see. I am trying to make a success with simple games with your advice. Maybe I'll make a quiz game. You do that, my friend. The quiz game angle is the easiest, if not one of the easiest, vibe codable games right now. No lie. There are people blowing up, and all of them are coded by AI. No way in hell are they making those without it. And that is one game that does not need models. That is one game that we can make with one prompt. I'll give you that. You could probably make one of those with one AI prompt, one codex prompt. But there's very few of those. Let's be clear. Not every game can be generated by AI with one click. It's very rare. You're lucky to even stumble upon that idea. So, yes, you can make the quiz games. The quiz games are just UI, which means Claude and Codex will frickin' accelerate at them. But not every game is going to be like that. AI generation of 3D models kind of sucks. We can't make full maps and models with things in every style yet with AI, and it usually kind of requires a lot of editing and a lot of work to not look like slop or just total trash. Let's be honest. But it's improving, right? And AI is very good at coding. The best thing AI can do right now, in general, in anything, is coding. Period. Like, you can't say that it can do anything else better than that. It is the best at coding. That's why these companies are focusing so damn hard on making their coding agents so good. Claude Code and Codex. They want them to be top notch because that is what AI is best at. That is like an LLM, right? We can generate 50 million emails with ChatGPT all day, but the utility of that goes away by the time you send your 10th email and now you have nobody to talk to and nobody reply to, right? LLMs have a limit on how useful it is. Eventually, you just get in a random conversation that doesn't matter. Unless sometimes there's some people who get constant productivity with it. But for most people, we'll say LLMs have a limit. But LLMs do not have a limit in producing code. When we figured out we can point the same LLM that can generate 50 million emails for us, right, at making a code base, everything changed. That's why ever since last year when AI agents first were coming out, we have not had the same AI landscape since. And things have changed really fast because we have AI agents. Now they can just sit there and code things for you autonomously 24/7. And there is no better place for AI. Maybe there will be a better use in the future. Maybe. But if you can write a code base that used to take years to write in a day or two, right, with 100,000, 200,000 lines of code, and it actually works, it's really hard to beat that. Like, it's really hard to beat Claude Code and Codex at what they do. I am looking forward, on a side tangent, to Grok Code, because Grok, Elon's AI, right, owned by X AI or SpaceX AI, whatever they're changing it to, just seems weird to me. The X AI name was cool. I don't know why they have to make it longer, but I guess they have to merge with their company, whatever. They're releasing, though, their own agent that you can hook up as a plugin as a CLI. So you will have a third agent you can now use soon. Just throw that out there to you. That's actually something useful. Let's see here. Epic Minigames is still somewhat popular. Oh, yeah, not as much as it was, but it's still popular. But you won't see many games that have rounds blowing up nowadays on their own. Unless it's like Floor's Lava or something that really jives with kids. But round-based games just don't seem to do well now because people can't stand the wait. They can't stand it. Their attention span is that of a goldfish. It doesn't work. What is your strategy with writing prompts? I just write basic sentences, or I plan it out with ChatGPT. I talk about it, like my idea with it. It refines the idea. It improves it. ChatGPT Pro is extremely good at that. If you do pay for the $100, $200 a month ChatGPT Pro subscription, that can be great. So look into that. But AI is very good at coding. It's very good at these things. So I do look into those. Let's see. As of now. Are you going to make a video of the methods you can use to create games with AI? I already have. Go check them out. You've been living under a rock? Son, go check these videos out. We have like 5 of them. We have a lot of them. There's a lot. As of now, AI can script VFX to happen and emit those particles. Your best chance is to learn how to make basic VFX and teach your agent. All right. When writing prompts, yeah. So I do that. ChatGPT Pro works well. I already covered that for making those prompts. And ChatGPT Pro will call out your nonsense. Like, it will call out when you have a bad idea, or it will call out like problems in it, and it will actually make you a better prompt. So like when I'm making an app, right, I'll come up with an idea for how to make the app, like Trello Forge. I will say something in it that's maybe slightly wrong because I don't know how to make Mac apps, and then it will adjust it, and it will give me a better prompt to bootstrap that app via Codex. So I will either, if I'm making a Roblox game now, I sometimes use ChatGPT for the prompt or prompts, but then I will also use just basic stupid sentences. Make the laser, make the car, make it drive, right? Obviously, I'll probably say, like, make a car system that makes it so that I can hit shift to boost and it can climb across walls, right? I'll be somewhat specific, but it's really just several sentences and then the prompt is done. Like, I'm not doing any special prompting techniques. I don't really believe in that anymore. I believe in one prompt at a time, stupidly simple sentences, get your point across, or meticulously generated prompt by AI with ChatGPT Pro, preferably, because it's the smartest model out there for that. First result is RBLX.com for RBLXAI.com when searching Artly RBLX. Yeah, it's not Artly.RBLX, it's Artly RBLX. It's just one word. So look that up for AI thumbnails. Yeah, that guy got it. Cole sent the right one. He probably works for them, let's just be honest. These guys are lurking everywhere. There's a lot of people reaching out to people for sponsors of that. I might take a sponsor for them. I mean, I would recommend their tool without being sponsored. I just did. So, oh yeah, I'd take a sponsor. Let's see. Letting AI refactor without a plan is just suicide. Yeah, it definitely is. I'm trying to learn Roblox dev scripting. What should I do? Start with my video, the easiest beginner guide to Roblox scripting. It seems to be a pretty good place for a lot of people. I mean, 4.4 million views says something. Though I think it might say something. Let's see. Maybe. Just maybe. The size of the prompt is not that big of a deal with context windows. It's as big as 400K. Yeah. But context windows cost more tokens, and people bring that up all the time. So sometimes you want a fresh chat to not spend so many. Would you rather games you could probably be vibe coded in GL? Yeah, I would rather make games that are vibe coded, definitely. How do you know your game loop is bad? I recently made a game, spent 1.5K on assets, and I'm getting mixed feedback. It can't go past 50 CCU. I saw this guy actually say this. He's really dedicated to get this answered. He's dedicated to see it so much so that he sent it on both Discord and YouTube. So we'll definitely answer that. So to answer your question, it's a lot of things, right? And I can't give you the ultimate success formula to make a game that gets 5,000 CCU right now because I haven't done that recently. I have not done that at all. Not 5,000 CCU. The highest we got was like 700, 800. Around that range, like 750 on Poopland back in the day. Stupidest meme game ever in Jimmy Games. It peaked there. We also had hundreds of players online at many different points. But what I can say, right? And actually, I've peaked pretty high with sponsors on Steal a Bus. I got to give it to myself. I was sponsoring, but it got up to like, I think it was like 500 players. So that was pretty decent for me recently, but it fell off because the retention was not there. But how do you tell the game loop is bad if people don't stay? Like, it can't go past 50 CCU. That's decent. That's decent. It's something. So I wouldn't kill it off right away, especially like if you stop sponsoring and players hold and the retention is good, like the D1 retention is good, people come back the next day, and the D7 retention is good, especially then keep on refining it. Stay with that game. If you stop sponsoring and everybody dies, consider killing it. Consider it. Right? You have to kill your darlings sometimes. But that, honestly, right, this is the problem I've had. I was just basing it on data, right? And data can only go so far. I think that data is really useful, especially when you have a large sample size. when you have thousands of CCU, especially. Data is great. But for us with no CCU at the moment, or very little CCU, or just running on sponsors, the data kind of sucks, right? In either case, whether you have data or not, I think QA, real testers, is better than data on its own. I've realized that the hard way. I've been sponsoring games, and I, like an idiot, right? I have 153K subs, have not promoted them on my channel. I only promoted one, and I've mentioned them in streams, but that's just a mention. I have not done videos. I have not done streams testing my games that I have vibe coded with my audience. That is stupid. You need to get feedback from real people. So what I would say to you, the best way to know your game loop is bad is get on a call with people who are honest, preferably multiple people, who will tell you to your face that the game sucks and why. The why is important. If they just tell you it sucks, the feedback is useless. It's not constructive criticism. It's just insulting. But if they tell you it sucks and they give you a reason why, now we're in direct, real feedback zone. I had my friend Josh and West, actually, the guys who came on this call and spoke, my two friends. These guys, they tested my game. Actually, I don't think West tested it, but another friend. We'll call him Joe. His name is not Joe, but Josh will laugh at that because he knows his real name. But these two, they tested the game. They drag a couch across town. They said it sucked, and they gave me feedback, and I was able to improve it. Now, I knew the game loop sucked because they told me that it sucked, right? We all think our game idea is better than it actually is. So I'm going to be having my games tested with people on Discord calls and live streams. So that's going to be something coming up soon. We're going to test my games because why the hell would I not use that? Why wouldn't I get feedback? It's not just about promotion. Like I said, have a call with people. But it would be even better if you have an audience because it's larger. If you can live stream to 50 people and get them all to test your game, that's a lot. That is a lot and a lot of feedback that you can get. Give me the harshest, most brutal feedback possible. Just do not hold back. Give me every last bit of ammo you can. Fire every last shot at this game. Tear it apart. Tell people that. Do not be nice. Give me the harshest feedback you can. You will get more value from that than your stupid stats, than the little bit of data you get from just launching the game and doing a little sponsor. Honest to God, that's what I think now. Because and sometimes that will mean you have to kill the game off altogether. This game is so bad, it should not even be improved. Then just move on to a new simple game. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I am going to be running more tests. And actually, I'm going to be doing tests with my audience. I'm going to be doing tests on YouTube, like a person with a decent sized, or I would say pretty big YouTube channel should do. You should test it with people. You should use the live streams to see what people think, right? So I'm going to be doing that when I launch new games, right? Maybe I'll do one tomorrow on Kick a Poop. I think we might just do that. Give feedback on the game. How do we improve it? How can Jesse improve this game? How can he do an update? We're going to be sponsoring that. We're going to be posting that tonight with Ann from our team. I already told you about Ann earlier. If you didn't see it, rewatch the stream later. Watch it. Watch that part back. Because I explained like our whole prototype pipeline. You could learn something from that. How we run a business on Roblox, which does not have a successful game yet, but it is it's a studio, right? A very early stage studio. And we have Ann, our new release assistant, who's going to be launching those games. I'm training her up on that in just a few hours. At 8 p.m. I'm going to be calling her. And that is something that is going to help us a lot, is having a lot of those prototypes going out. But what will help even more after they're out is actually getting real feedback. Like, tell me where the game sucks. Tell me how it would be more fun. What should we add? Some of the feedback you should ignore. People will add all kinds of stupid things. Add a unicorn to this new version of Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think so. We're not adding a unicorn to a very serious shooter like a Call of Duty game. Maybe a unicorn would work in Arsenal, let's be honest. It's kind of goofy sometimes. But if we're making Call of Duty, we aren't going to add a unicorn. Right? We just aren't. Not in most situations, right? So don't take all feedback seriously, but you need to get the QA. So I would say get real quality assurance, quality testing. Get real testers, however you can, even if it's just your friends from school or work. Get them. Have them do it. That's better than just dealing with sponsors and data, because numbers are numbers, man. At the end of the day, they can't actually talk to you. And getting on a real call with voice is the best way to do it. If your demographic is like kids, like if you have like kids in your family, like just have them test the game, right? That would be good if you're aiming at a younger audience. Like, hey, let's have my little cousins test the game, right? Have them do that. So it can be demographic based. It can be just people on your YouTube channel, like I'm going to be doing with streams. It can be your friends, like I had my friends test the game. And of course, like if you have like your guys, they can give you some brutal feedback, let's be honest. And I appreciated it because they told me the game sucked. They told me why. Don't know what to do, etc. Game map doesn't look good, whatever. I decided to cut the game because I tried sponsoring it, didn't get any players. So I decided to cut it based on their feedback and just in general. But I did improve the game a little bit from their feedback, but it just wasn't a loop that would hold. So if I'm to even try again with that game, it would be redoing it altogether, drag the couch in a straight line, not all around the city, etc., etc. A simpler map, low poly graphics, you know the drill, right? But that was just a look at how QA helped me, because it showed me, oh, this game isn't good. So to answer your question, right, how do you know a game loop is bad? Have your friends tell you straight to your face. That's it. Step Josh at SmartyRBX. Oh yeah, somebody said bro's rich. Yeah, I'm not rich right now. I'm not rich at all. Let's just be honest. I gotta make more money. I gotta get myself a successful game again. Ain't just relying on Jimmy games anymore. Gotta get something new. That's why we're pushing new ones out. At SmartyRBX, we should AI max and add a lot of data centers and destroy the environment. Yes! Ruin everything. Tear it all down. Let the AI center burn the local forest. Oh man, that's horrible. If Sam is, I mean, if whoever is watching this that doesn't like AI is here, they're gonna be mad. That is not a literal statement. That is a joke. To clarify to those individuals who get enraged quite easily, the easily rage baited. There's many of them. I have met them. Yes, time to AI max. I agree with you on that. Let's AI max. On a serious note, let's actually do that. So we'll be doing that video soon. I don't script myself anymore to answer this guy's question. No, not really. Can we see a game fully made by AI? Yes. Go to the group Wild Wild Worlds on Roblox, and also go to a lot of these quiz games, quizzes on Roblox. They're made by AI because it's just UI. That's literally it. Just finished your modeling tutorial, man, and made my first tree. Nice work. That is sick. Let's see. It's a good tutorial. It's helped a lot of people. Thank you for the parenting advice, friend. You are quite welcome. I don't know when I give parenting advice, but I guess you're welcome. Really appreciate the thorough and detailed answer to my question. Makes sense. Yes, you are welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Keep pushing out weekly updates and see how it goes from there. We'll have to kill it if we have to kill it. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, and be ready to kill it, because there will be the temptation to keep dragging it on. But you have to remember that is a major opportunity cost that is causing you to not get out other games, like what was happening in Brainrotverse, in the Smarty Media LLC game development wing with Mike, Jesse, and now Anne. Yeah, the brain rot shooter was getting way over frickin' polished. It was time to cut it. And we did. So don't fall into that hole. I have no kid relatives. F. Well. We'll just have to find a solution to that. Hello, local elementary school. We would like to have an event where we have you test our game. Good luck. Good luck getting that past the gates. Let's see. I just learned yesterday Sam Altman is gay. Yes, he is. Very much so. This is just a way of AI maxing. Yep. When you told to throw your baby in the trash, referring to a bad game that you had to kill. Yeah, you're welcome. That was good parenting advice, I know. It's hard to come by on this channel, but when it comes, it sure comes. It is good. Let's see. What do you think of the Roblox Kids and Roblox Select update? That is stupid. I don't think we should separate Roblox into 5 different versions. Will you ever do a stream where you test viewers' games? Maybe. But I mean, let's be honest, I want to be selfish. I want to use it for myself. Use the airtime to test my own games. Maybe years later. Let's see. Water has requested to speak. Just speak, man. Just speak. I've been going for hours. Oh, he stopped. I've been going for hours. Give me a break from talking.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Thank
your
you for
question?
having me. So I have a question related to VFX.
Yeah.
So I've been having trouble just generating VFX with AI. It's just I've tried like Claude, I've tried like the Assistant, like none of it works. So like, what would your recommendation be for like generating VFX?
I mean, in my experience, Claude works fine for generating basic VFX. What seems to be the problem?
Well, like VFX, so like that requires asset IDs, and if you like the Claude just doesn't have access to those like particular asset IDs like to generate like quality VFX.
Then why don't you give it asset IDs?
Well, I don't know like which ones like would work best for like VFX.
Well, I mean, it's just looking for something like a water splash. Like if you have a fire hydrant splashing water out, that's a VFX. You just find that image in the toolbox and you give it to Claude, and then you tell it, hey, turn this into a nice detailed particle, set all the properties up right for me.
All right, yeah.
Is there something specific it wasn't working on?
Like just generally like I tried generating for example like something that wasn't like an explosion like VFX for like example like some purple like explosion type VFX like it wasn't really able to like generate quality ones like it instead like defaulted to the ROBLOX default explosion like asset IDs, if you know what I mean. It didn't use.
Yeah, because
like,
you aren't
didn't
giving
have
it
access to it.
you aren't giving it an ID.
Yeah.
You need to give it the asset ID. I've done the same thing. It just takes a little bit of effort, man. You just have to try.
Okay.
You just have to put in the IDs. You have to find them from the toolbox or upload your own images. It can't find them for you yet. Don't try to make it. It'll be a waste of time. You just have to put in that little bit of effort of finding the right images for the VFX to be made. Otherwise, it just won't.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. Hello. This guy's a Star Wars guy.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
Darth Malice from the dark side.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. So my question is, what's your opinion on the specialized Roblox development agents like Rebirth, Lemonade, to name a few,
Yeah, I haven't
or
used them.
Revix?
I haven't used them, but I see how that could be useful if it has access to the Roblox Studio documentation or just better awareness of how to develop in Roblox somehow. But in my opinion, I don't think that it matters that much. Like, okay, I would have to test it to really know, and I'm all for like being pragmatic and actually trying something. I would have to test it. I haven't. But I think that Claude Code and Codex have just fine a knowledge of how Roblox development works as an ecosystem, and I haven't had any problems. And if those models don't use the latest frontier models and they're dumber, I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather have the
Okay, thank you,
intelligence than
and-
like a full Wikipedia description of how Roblox works.
Sounds good. And that game you're releasing tonight, that's going to be on the same group that you released the other ones, like the slide,
Now that's the real
or is it
question.
going to be a new group?
No, this is on the group Brainrotverse. So I haven't really announced this. This is a good question because this is basically what my company is producing games in. We're making games, right? The company is called Smarty Media LLC. That's the company associated with my Roblox channel. It's associated with my products like Scripting Secrets. But our game development lane has a group on Roblox called Brainrotverse. So if you go to my profile, SmartyCar23, You find the group Brainrotverse. That is where these games made by Mike, Jesse, and my team will be published. So if you want to see that, you go to Brainrotverse, and Kick a Poop is going to be on there. The next one, when we refine it, it will be on there as well. Published by Anne tonight. So that is where those will be found.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. Alrighty then. Mwah, what a perfect form response from Smarty. I know, right? We're just response maxing out here. We just question and answer maxing. Maxing everything. I think, when are we going to get tired of maxing? Right? Because everybody's maxing things now because clavicular blew up and they're looks maxing. And now all of a sudden everything is turned into maxing for some stupid reason. It sounds catchy, don't get me wrong. But eventually we're going to max everything out to the point that we don't want to max anymore. We're going to get to the point where we're like, okay, we've maxed everything. Can we stop? Can we stop? Can we just cut it out here and call it good? We're not there yet. But I think eventually the meme will die like every other meme. Though I like it. In the meantime, let's max everything. Let's AI max. Let's freaking burn down the forest because our AI warehouse is computationally expensive max. Let's do everything max. Roblox development max. Robux max. I want a Robux max. Hell yeah. Let's max. Love max. Maxing max. Let's max. Yeah. We're maxing. That's what people are doing now. Like everything has become maxing. Like everything. Like, does everything have to be a max? Or can it just be? Can it just exist? Let me ask you that. I guess not. Apparently. Let's maxing. Exactly. Let's, the real answer is, let's Brainrotverse max. What is the group name? It's called Brainrotverse. So Brainrotverse, go to that on Roblox. It is where the Smarty Media LLC game development wing games will be found. So if you want to Smarty max and get your whatever else maxing on and max out the gameplay in my games, be my guest. Join Brainrotverse. Thank you very much, my friend. You have joined the right group. You know what? As a request to join, you're right. I'll open that group up here soon. So just request and you'll be let in shortly because we will fix that. Did I answer your question on procedural generated games? I don't think I did, but ask me next time. I'll answer it later. We're getting to a very long stream. It is about time to close this off. By dog? No, it's by me. It's by SmartyCar23. Got a Robux max immediately. Hell yeah. Let's see. Do you use the new Roblox Studio Assistant custom MCP server where you connect the Roblox Assistant codecs, for example, and it can directly edit anything in Studio, or just Roblox Studio via Studio connection? I still use the plugin. In fact, I have like a modified version of it, which it's kind of top secret intel right now because I have my own custom tools that I built, which I'm not quite ready to post. But yeah, I basically use Boshi XD's plugin, so I don't use Roblox's native one. And the reason for that, I haven't tested it recently, but I found that Roblox's use is designed only for one game at a time, which I find stupid. I want to be able to open multiple Roblox Studio sessions and have agents connected to all of them at the same time. In my experience, only the plugin method works for that right now. Only Boshi XD. And my modified version works better, but I'm not going to share that yet. But use that for now. If I share my version, it'll probably be paid because it's really good. Watching videos and liking and subscribing and membership and masterclass course buying maxing. Yes. That is the best maxing term we have ever came up with. Clavicular, get out of the way. Get the hell out of here. We are doing that. Watching Smarty's videos and liking and subscribing and membership and masterclass course buying maxing. Yes. And Smarty Dev's clois. Excuse me, that was a word fumble. Smarty Dev's class joining maxing too. See, it's already getting cringe the more you say it. It's like, the more times maxing comes out of your mouth, the more cringe it gets. That's the problem. Like, the more things we max, the more cringe it gets. And everybody on a worldwide scale will realize that soon. That is the realization of this stream. Forget everything else I said. That's the most important takeaway. But we got the classes. So classes are important. Before I even consider closing this stream off, we are doing Smarty Devs classes. We are going to have a new one tomorrow, hosted by our first community class host. The first one ever. His name is BlibZZ. He's a modeler, and I think he's going to give us a really good class on the basics of modeling. So if you do not know how to 3D model, if you've been code maxing and sitting in your room AI maxing and script maxing and never model maxing, it's time to start doing that. It's time to start model maxing and Blender maxing so that you can actually get beautiful game maxing, right? So your game can look good. We don't want trash looking games. So what you are going to do, you will do this. You will join. If you want to join tomorrow, it's at 12 p.m. PST. So it's at noon. I mean, not PST, EST. EST. 12 p.m. EST. It's at noon Eastern Standard Time. Look up how that translates to your time zone. And he's going to teach that. That is Saturday. We do all our classes on Saturday so far. If they are ever on a different day, I'll let you know, but we're trying to have them all on Saturday. They're live. It's like being tutored live for free. Yes, there will be paid ones in the future, but all of them are free right now. No, this is not course selling like some idiots on Smarty Devs will say. Oh, he's trying to sell a course. No, this Smarty Devs classes have nothing to do with a course. It is free, and you can join that inside of the server. Just join the class. It will be there for you. It will be announced, and it will be inside of the class stage. So it'll be like this format for the people who are inside of the Smarty Devs stage right now. It's going to be like this. This is not a class, to be clear. What I'm doing right now is a Q&A, not a class. I will host classes in the future, but right now we're trying to have the most community members, staff members in Smarty Devs, etc., do them. So that is just, it's community maxed, you know? Now we're maxing everything, aren't we? This is getting ludicrous. But yes, we're maxing that. So we're class maxing in Smarty Devs. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe these words are coming out of my mouth. But yes, we're class maxing. So Smarty, I'm not on headphones. Please stop saying maxing. I'm not going to stop, man. I'm not going to stop, and I'm not sorry. But yes, so you can join the classes in Smarty Devs. Those are at noon tomorrow, Saturday, May 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You may join the modeling class. You will learn how to make models, and you will follow along inside of Blender, and you will get that grasp on that new skill, especially if you've been script maxing and all you've been doing is just coding and you don't really know that skill, or you've just been UI maxing and you only know how to make UI, right? You will be amazed by how getting taught maxing and Smarty Devs Discord server maxing will help you, because we will be teaching you live. This is tutor maxing, and you're going to see how it's done, right? Because tutoring is actually something that's missing from Roblox as a whole, right? Clavicular doesn't stand a chance. No, he doesn't. Of course not. He can't. He can't max this many things. He doesn't have 7 different development skills. He only has looks. We have scripting maxing. We have building maxing. We have UI maxing. We have dev content maxing. We have game design maxing, psychology maxing, business maxing, strategy first maxing. What else? VFX maxing, animation maxing, building maxing. I already said that, right? We're just maxing everything. So start getting taught on the Discord, because really a lot of people think, oh, a video isn't for me. Video maxing is not for me, right? If I'm out here watching scripting guides, I don't know what to do. I get stuck. I have to ask a question. How do you question max? You can't. Because if you are on a YouTube video, you cannot ask Smarty a question. I hate to break it to you, you can't question max on YouTube, but you sure as hell can question max on Discord. When you're on there, we have a question and answers section at the very end of the class where you can literally go in and you can ask the instructor, which will be BlibZZ tomorrow. He's a modeler. You can ask him anything. So if you got stuck in Blender and you don't know what to do, He can tell you. He can tell you, hey, okay, you were supposed to hit this button, you idiot. Command B maxing, not Command Z, whatever, right? He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you. And then you'll be good to go. Clav, love to run over fan maxing. Sure as hell maxing. Yeah, sure as hell maxing. Buy, of course, anything, please. Maxing. Let's see here. Dude, enough maxing. No, we're maxing. Bro, if you keep maxing so much, I'm going to start rope maxing. Whoa there, buddy. Slow down 1 minute. Just start super chat maxing instead. So just give me money. And you know what? If I get a $50 donation, maybe I'll stop maxing. Let's see here. Can we... Talking about AI, maxing. Yes, screw AI. We just want to max. Script max, build max. Learn from Smarty Devs classes max. That's it. That's the slogan for this year. Because Smarty Devs, it was inactive for a while. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start doing classes. This is really going to fix that. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to say peace out. It has been a good one. I appreciate you joining. This has gotten very interesting. We have been Q&A maxing lately, and we will not be stopping that. We're going to have more. And we're going to be activity maxing the server. So join the hell up, Max, and click that link in the description, and I'll catch you on the next stream. Peace out.